Hello, welcome to Microfiche Microphone. I'm Micah, and on this channel we look at microfiche from the past, old newspaper articles in the public domain. We look at them with our modern eyes, our modern perspective, and see what we can learn from them. On this microfiche time capsule, we are looking back at the Gentleman's Magazine from March 1800. And this article is entitled Directions to Jailers for Prisoners on Trial. I thought that sounded interesting because I don't actually know what jailers did back in those days and compared to what they do today, yeah? So I wanted to see what kinds of things that they were expected to do and if it's any different than what jailers do today. So let's take a look. It's a really short one today. Alright, not more than half a dozen to be brought into the court at one time, their heads to be combed or shaved, their faces and hands to be washed, soap allowed for it, their feet to be washed in salted water. The above rules are worthy attending to, particularly at this time, as the Lent assizes are so nearly at hand. Okay, and at this period of the year, the fevers of the putrescent tribe are generally more prevalent. I'll have to look that up in a moment. The directions are plain and simple, but sufficiently efficacious for the purpose. The inestimable value of the lives of judges, magistrates, and counselors of this kingdom at all times to the public calls forth the aid and arm of protection from every good subject, and every good Christian, Jew, or Mohammedan, and as such, I, with the insertion of the above short documents to your extensive and useful monthly publication from a medical friend, related to Mr. Urban by Urbanity, V&B. So, I didn't get much from this, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, it says to me that the prisoners have to be washed before they're brought to trial, and they have to have short hair, I guess. Their hair is to be combed or shaved. So if they refuse to have it combed, I guess, then it has to be shaved. And it sounds like they are relatively respectful of people's religion. But other than that, but they didn't say how either. They said the above rules are worthy attending to, particularly at this time as Lent is coming. Yeah, it's so nearly at hand. And they did mention how valuable the judges, the magistrates, and the counselors are. I understand that. So I feel like jailers, their main purpose in this case is to maintain the safety of all of those around them, of the lawyers, the magistrates, judges. So do they act in this case kind of like a bailiff? Because it's kind of what it sounds like. Like that jailers during trial act as bailiffs. That's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong, but that was just the impression that I got. So I do want to look up one thing, and it says putrescent tribe, fevers of the putrescent tribe, whatever that means. So let's take a look. Oh, yellow fever, apparently, is what that means. It's also called puerperal fever. Oh no, that's a different thing. But that's what came up first, was puerperal fever, which looks like childbed fever. Yeah. It's basically retained placenta. I don't even have to look that up. I am aware of what this is as someone who has given birth and knew that it was a risk factor. Yeah. If any woman has flu-like symptoms within a week of having given birth, go to the hospital immediately. It could be retained placenta, which can cause blood poisoning. You need to make sure that that's not the case. It's basically like rotting away inside you, and that can make you very, very sick. Very sick. So that's the one that's coming up. I don't know why that would be the case. I've had the feeling, at least, especially at this time, that most people who were in prison were men. Yeah. So, I don't see how any of them could have childbed fever. Plus, the fact that this is not something that is all that common anyway. Not today. Like I said, this is something that women are warned of when they give birth, to come back in if they're not feeling well. in the first week of giving birth. But yeah, it's a scary one for me because, you know, you wouldn't know that anything was wrong until it killed you, you know. But I don't know. I don't have the feeling that that's what they were talking about. But apparently that's the first thing that came up. But also an account of yellow fever also came up. This is from Wikipedia. An account of the yellow fever as it prevailed in the city of New York. No, it's a book. I don't want to read a book. Oh, it's 400 pages. Never mind. Interesting. No, the thing that's coming up the most is childbed fever, and I'm not sure why. It doesn't say that it, like, translated it to anything. Like, I just looked up fevers of the putrescent tribe, and that's what came up, was childbed fever. I mean, you know, officially, puerperal fever. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think that's what they're talking about. Anyways, it's a little frustrating because, you know, you kind of understand what they're saying, but at the same time you're not 100%. And at this period of the year, the fevers of the putrescent tribe are generally more prevalent. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, we're talking about March. Like, why would more women be giving birth in March than otherwise? I don't think that they would be. Like, people give birth all year round, you know, has nothing to do with that, which means it can't possibly be that. I don't know what they would be, though. So if anybody knows, please write it in the comments below, because I have no idea. Anyways, that was very short, but only slightly interesting, because basically they're saying that jailers at the time also acted as bailiffs. You know, they could have said that with one sentence, just saying. And then the you know, importance of cleanliness. I find it interesting that they found cleanliness so important, since this is pre-germ theory. They used to think that sicknesses were caused by miasma, which means bad smells. So I guess that does relate to being clean, yeah. But they wouldn't necessarily know the importance of using soap. I had to wash their feet in salted water. Did they go barefoot? Like, because that's a little strange to me. Why don't they just wear shoes? You know? But hey, I'm not in charge. Anyway, please comment down below what you think that means, because I thought that was a little cryptic. But yeah, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.